Park Min-young's swift return to the small screen and her proven romance formula. Actress Park Min-young has returned to the small screen with a new project at a remarkably fast pace. Her diligent career, consistently greeting viewers with new works almost every year without a break, always gathers immense public expectation. Although she has varied her genres and characters over the years, the genre where her unique charm and explosive potential are best utilized driving high viewership ratings is undoubtedly works infused with romance. In the case of her immediate previous work, Confidence Man Kr., which was a pure caper without a single drop of romance, she had to swallow the bitter pill of somewhat disappointing ratings. Because of this, her latest work, in which she returns fully equipped with the romantic tension that is her specialty, naturally draws even more attention. Chilling tension, instead of a rosy atmosphere, the prelude to a fatal romance thriller. However, upon lifting the veil on the first and second episodes of Siren, the sweet and affectionate romantic atmosphere we commonly expect is nowhere to be found. Just as the drama's official promotional tagline clearly defines it as a fatal romance thriller, the atmosphere in the early stages is infinitely heavy and focused on a chilling mystery. In the drama, the main characters, Han Seola, played by Park Min-young, and Cha Woo-seok, played by Wi Ha-joon, maintain a tense, defensive relationship, unable to easily approach each other and constantly doubting and keeping their guard up with sharp gazes. How this cold wall of suspicion, meticulously built up in the beginning, will crumble and lead them to give their fatal hearts to each other as the story progresses is the most crucial viewing point. A cold abyss hidden behind glamour chief auctioneer Han Seola. Han Seola, the character at the center of the narrative who spawns all the mysteries, demonstrates overwhelming competence working as the chief auctioneer at a famous auction house. On the surface, she seems to be living the life of a flawless and glamorous career woman, but her inner self and past are thoroughly concealed behind a thick curtain. Much like the Siren of Greek mythology, who lured sailors to their doom with a beautiful voice, she is extremely sparing with her own stories, instinctively blocks others' approaches, and sets up a solid defensive shield. Park Min-young has completely erased the bright and lovely energy she previously showcased, overwhelming viewers with a mysterious and chilling gaze that makes it impossible to read her true intentions. A tenacious hunter chasing the truth with scars. Insurance investigator Cha Woo-seok. Cha Woo-seok, who approaches Han Seol-ah to crack her secretive world, is originally a former violent crimes detective who boasted outstanding intuition and action. However, after experiencing the agonizing tragedy of his own younger brother becoming involved in a horrific insurance fraud case, he stripped off his police uniform out of guilt and responsibility, changing his career to a private insurance investigator. He is a deeply scarred character who now fully utilizes the sharp investigative skills and unique tenacity cultivated during his detective days. Almost every suspected insurance fraud case he bites into has its truth revealed, earning him the undisputed #1 arrest rate in the industry. How his cold anger toward crime and rational deductive reasoning will collide with the massive mystery that is Han Seola raises great expectations. A mysterious fall at the auction house. Circumstances of a fabricated suicide. The fates of Han Seola and Cha Woo-seok, who seem to be orbiting in completely different trajectories, begin to cross intensely due to a horrific death that occurs at the auction house where Han Seola works. A shocking incident takes place where a character named Kim Yoon-ji, played by actress Lee Elijah, falls to her death from the auction house building. All circumstances at the scene and the police's initial findings pointed to a suicide, but from Cha Woo-seok's perspective, there was a decisive reason why he could never accept this. Right before she died, Kim Yoon-ji had urgently contacted Woo-seok, leaving a message that she would provide crucial information related to an insurance crime, the shadow of a dead ex-lover, and a narrowing investigation net. Convinced that Kim Yoon-ji's death was a murder cleverly disguised as a suicide, Cha Woo-seok launches a full-scale investigation. While inquiring around the auction house to uncover the truth of the case, Woo-seok makes an ominous judgment that chief auctioneer Han Seola, who ostensibly seems to have no connection to Kim Yoon-ji's death, is firmly linked to the center of this case by an invisible thread. At the end of that suspicion, Woo-seok discovers the existence of Yoon Sung-jae, played by Ha Seok-jin, an ex-lover from the past with whom Han Seola had even firmly promised marriage. Tragically, the shocking truth surfaces that Yoon Sung-jae is also no longer of this world, having suffered an unexpected and unfortunate accident in the past. A 700 million won life insurance policy and erased traces, exploding suspicions. As Cha Woo-seok's investigation deepens, it is revealed that the flow of money intertwined behind Yoon Sung-jae's death is bizarrely twisted. Initially, a massive life insurance policy worth a whopping 700 million won was placed under Yoon Sung-jae's name, but for unknown reasons, the policy had been abruptly cancelled just before the accident occurred. However, Woo-seok captures suspicious circumstances where a huge sum of 200 million won was paid in a lump sum during that process, leading him to harbor a chilling, reasonable suspicion that Han Seola might have secretly intercepted those massive funds. Yet, while circumstantial evidence pointing to Han Seola overflows, the distinct physical evidence proving her direct involvement in all these deaths and financial gains is nowhere to be found. Nightmares in the unconscious and the macabre. Formula of to love is to die. The deeper he digs into Han Seola's surroundings, the more bizarre and strange circumstances continue to tangle like a spider's web instead of providing clear answers. In the horrifying nightmares Han Seola has while sleeping alone, her already deceased ex-lover Yoon Sung-jae and the recently fallen Kim Yoon-ji appear together, tormenting her suppressed unconscious. Amidst the confusion of whether she is merely a perpetrator or another victim of a massive conspiracy, Cha Woo-seok discovers a chilling commonality through past records. It is a macabre pattern. The men who were mesmerized by Han Seola and loved her deeply all ultimately met tragic deaths. And behind those deaths, highly suspicious, massive insurance payouts were always intertwined. The appearance of a new prey and the boundary of dangerous love. Within this cursed pattern, the presence of Baek Junbeom, played by Kim Jung-hyun, who has only appeared briefly up to the second episode, evokes a strange tension. Baek Junbeom is introduced as a character full of desire who tries to win Han Seola by any means necessary. This stimulates viewers' curiosity as to whether he too will ultimately end up as a gruesome casualty for the sin of loving Han Seola, just like the men of the past. Even more interestingly, it provides a taut thrill to wonder if Cha Woo-seok himself, who intentionally approached Han Seola to uncover her dangerous secrets, will gradually fall for her fatal charm and end up walking into that very trap of death himself. The splendid resurrection of a masterpiece. A 5.5% viewership rating. Proving a well-made drama. The drama Siren is based on the legendary suspense drama Ice World, which aired across Japan in 1999 and enjoyed immense popularity, soaring to third place in viewership ratings. It has excellently adapted the meticulously verified narrative structure of the original work to fit the modern Korean sentiment and the sophisticated backdrop of an auction house. Despite being scheduled in the Monday-Tuesday drama time slot, where high ratings are usually difficult to achieve, the fact that its premiere episode kicked off to a strong start with a 5.5% viewership rating proves the genre's magnetic appeal. Within a swift and streamlined 12-episode format, expectations are high on whether this gripping romance thriller will maintain its excellent density until the very end.